Okay, well, welcome everybody. Look around. Look at how many people are here. What a fantastic crowd. Thank you so much for coming here. This really speaks to the importance and the community need to speak to your Senator, Tom Tillis. We need him to be at a town hall, and that's why we are having this here. I am Carolyn Eberly, founder of Indivisible Charlotte. Thank you. And we have a fantastic coalition of nonpartisan organizations that have built this event so that this is possible for all of you here tonight. We're so excited that you're here, and we're working in community because we know that when we work together, we are stronger and our voices are louder. So thank you again for being here. I wanted to give you an overview of what tonight is going to look like so you know what to expect. The first thing is we're going to have some panelists that are going to introduce themselves. And the panelists are from organizations that are going to talk about Medicaid, Social Security, healthcare, different topics that let the lay of the land for Charlotte. So we know what's happening with organizations. And they're going to introduce themselves and how those organizations have been impacted here. That's going to be fairly quick because we want to spend most of the evening with all of you and your questions either for the panelists, your questions for our Senator, Tom Tillis, or we want to hear your testimony, how you are impacted. And I hope all of you had been able to submit questions, and if not, there are volunteers that are still taking that. So I wanted to just quickly say, why are we here? Why are we having a town hall? What's the purpose of this town hall? We really want to provide a community-led space where constituents can voice their concerns about this administration. They can raise their concerns directly and call for accountability from our Senator, Tom Tillis. His presence here was officially invited by our coalition, and I'm going to share with you how many ways that we invited him. But we invited him because we saw this urgent local need. Look around you. Do you see this? How many people are hurting? How many people want to talk to their senator? This is why we are gathering. This is why we are doing this. So speaking of formally inviting Senator Tom Tillis, I wanted to let you know these are all the ways that we invited him. As a coalition of organizations, we sent a certified invitation, certified mail. We sent him an invitation to his DC office on April 2nd. We have receipts that it was received. So we know that he got that official mail, that official evite from us, the coalition. But he also received hundreds of personal emails from you and from other constituents all across the Charlotte area. And we had a special email address that was given to us by a Tillis staffer that said, if you want a face-to-face appointment with your senator, this is the email to use. And thank you to you and all of your friends and other constituents here in Charlotte. Hundreds of email invites were sent to Senator Tillis to be here tonight, to be at this event. So we were lucky enough not only to have emails and certified mail that we notified him that we wanted his presence here, that we wanted to talk our concerns to him. We also had the opportunity, we had two people that coincidentally were on a plane from DC. They were organizers with our organization. There were two people on that same plane flying from DC to Charlotte as Senator Tillis on April 10th. And so those two people, being the courageous people that they are, independently went and asked him on the plane, I want to invite you to this town hall on this day at this location. Now, as an organization, we didn't get an official response to our certified mail. We asked for an official response to his invitation, but we didn't get it. But the two people that spoke to him face to face on that plane independently, he said to them, "I'm aware of that date, and I will be out of the country." And I just want to let you know that the date that we picked wasn't haphazard. This is a 2-week Senate recess. This is the state working time period. This is when the senators come back and they work with their constituents. They go to meetings with their constituents and they learn from them. And that is why we picked this date. And so it's really important that the senator is not here, and he's chosen that based on this, based on the fact that he is out of the country. So Senator Tillis has not shown up for you today. He is not representing you today. And I hope you will take this opportunity. I know most of you probably have connections, whether you have his phone number or his email, but I want you to send a message and let Senator Tom Tillis know that you were here, that you wanted to hear from him. Where was he? This is his job. So I want to head on to the program, and I want to introduce you to Shemaiah Haynes is going to be our moderator for tonight. And Shemaiah Haynes is a nonprofit executive. And she's a community organizer since 2012. Sorry, it wasn't on my notes. But Shemaiah, if you know her, she's amazing. And so she's going to be our moderator tonight, and I will turn it all over to her. Thank you so much.
Okay, everybody, we are here in this room because we have an interconnectedness. We're connected by the things we care about, the things we love, the things that we cherish. There is an African proverb, and it's kind of a cliche, but I'll repeat it here because I believe you are the embodiment of that proverb. And it says, "I am because we are." The extended version of that proverb is, "I am because we are, and because we are, I am." I will not tolerate, I will not perpetuate anything that holds me down. Are we being held down by what's happening right now? No. We're here together. We're here together. We're in this together. And I want to welcome you, and just to say thank you for being here. Thank you to our volunteers. Thank you to the coalition. And listen, let's be upbeat tonight. Let's keep our energy high. Let's remember that we're here together. You didn't come in this building alone. You came together. And I am because we are. I want to go over a few things, and I hope I didn't steal the thunder in my opening, but I got excited. This is a democratic event. Our events are open and participatory. This is the space to enter pro-democracy and a multi-issue movement in North Carolina. The place and space we are in matter. And we acknowledge those who hosted us and made the space possible. We want to say thank you to Project 658. Our event creates a shared culture. We have a few ground rules for attendees and speakers. We are nonpartisan, capital N-O-N, partisan. This is a nonpartisan space and a place for nonpartisan solutions to the challenges we all face. We are centering racial justice within an intersectional movement. We know racist, oppressive policies cause many of the representation and resources inequities in our nation and our state over the past decades, and it's the acknowledgement and fusion movement that will help us match a future we can all believe in. We commit to speaking from our experience and engaging respectfully with each other, which doesn't preclude sharing righteous anger when holding those in power accountable. We agree to abide by speaking rules so each person who wants to talk can receive that opportunity. And just a few housekeeping items. Bathrooms are located through the doors in the back on the right side of the room. If you need assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to someone in a neon vest and we will help you out. Water and a few packaged snacks are available at the back in the back table. And give me just a second here. I want to make sure Y'all, apologies. I got a lot of papers, and I think Carolyn might have took one of my papers. I'm not sure. Okay, so I think those are the ground rules. The other thing that's not here that may be important is that if you feel like you need to wiggle a little bit or move around a little bit, please feel free to make yourself comfortable in this space. I want to acknowledge whether or not there are community leaders in the room. If you are a local, state official, a member of clergy, members of media, or appointed officials, we won't call you out specifically, but we will acknowledge you perhaps with a hand raise if you are an elected official, clergy member, member of the media, or an appointed official. Please raise your hand. We are grateful and thankful for you. So, I have a few questions for you. We want everybody to see how connected we truly are, and so we're going to do a little bit of an exercise. I'd like to have you raise your hand if you want accessible and affordable health care. Woo! All right. How about Social Security when you retire, which you earned? Tax dollars coming back into your community. Clean air and safe water. How about self-determination over your own body? This is a big one for me, y'all. Excellent public schools for your children. A voice in your government and your community's future. An accurate accounting of our history and an end to the erasure of the contributions of our Black and brown communities, as well as women and the LGBTQIA+ community /DEI. So can you tell that we agree on way more than what we disagree? Listen, that's not enough. We know who we are. We know the society and community we want to build. But we're here tonight to listen to you and what you have to say, ask, or think about the agenda of the current administration. Here's how this will go. In a few minutes, we're going to turn it over to our panelists here tonight, who will tell you a bit about themselves, the issues they're fighting on, and how you get involved with the work they are doing to learn more. Then we turn it over to you. Many of you have signed up to speak already. And if you haven't, that's okay. If the Spirit moves you, please feel free to sign up using our QR code, which we will get around to you. Each person will have 2 minutes to speak. Please don't overspeak your 2 minutes. You got your 2 minutes, speak 2 minutes. We have timekeepers to keep us all in line. They might have to keep me in line right now. I better not talk too fast. Please feel free to use this time to give your testimony or ask the panelists a question. We do ask that you remain nonpartisan. What did I say? Capital N-O-N, partisan. And focus on the issues and how they impact your life and the lives of your community. We want to hear what you think. We also want your lawmakers to hear what you think, which is why we'll be recording tonight's session and questions and sharing what you had to say. We do have our panelists here tonight who will answer your questions within their area of expertise. Remember, we wanted Tom Tillis here tonight, but they will do the best that they can. All right. We will be sure to record and share all questions with Mr. Tillis along with your testimonies. If you're not sure what to say but feel the urge to say something, consider these questions. 1, what do you want your U.S. state lawmaker to know about what you think? And 2, what do you want for the future of North Carolina? Our goals for tonight's event is not only to hear your voices, but to plug you into local and statewide civic engagement afterwards. We definitely want to acknowledge Indivisible Charlotte, Red, Wine, and Blue, New Rural Project, Common Cause North Carolina, Indivisible Lake Norman, and Democracy NC, who organized this town hall tonight, and who are all wonderful, excellent groups to connect with. Okay. From the bottom of my heart, our hearts, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. And without further ado, let's get it started. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have each panelist go ahead and introduce yourself and speak for about 2 minutes in terms of what we just talked about earlier. You can, get it started, Robert.
All right, well, good evening, everyone. Thank you, first of all, to Indivisible and all of the organizers for having me here this evening. My name is Robert Nesbitt. I work for Mecklenburg County Government as Chief of Staff for our Health and Human Services Agency. And so that really includes public health, it includes social services with a lot of key programs such as Medicaid, SNAP benefits, supplemental nutrition assistance, WIC, a lot of these programs that so many families, adults, children, seniors rely on in our community. A lot of what Shamia said in her opening remarks highlight what the county does and the services that we provide to our residents. And if the federal funding is cut, these are the programs that will be most impacted. I'll just go over a few quick numbers. Medicaid alone has more than 400,000 residents receiving that benefit in our community. That's more than a third, or that's approximately a third of the residents living in Mecklenburg County. And that gives people access to affordable health care, something that we all know is a basic human right. If there are federal budget reductions that take North Carolina's funding for Medicaid expansion below what's called a 90% trigger law in our state, Medicaid expansion, which happened in December 2023, would be rolled back. And I highlight that because that would involve 70,000 people who now have health care coverage losing that vital resource. As many of the speakers, the speakers who welcomed us tonight had shared, it's really your voices, your stories, the communities that we all live in that can help elevate how critical of a resource that Medicaid alone is in our community. Also, SNAP, all of these other resources. It's these stories. If you are helped through this resource, if you know someone who is, which I know every one of us does, please share those stories, help elevate that need just to ensure those benefits remain in our community. Thank you so much.
All right, good evening, everyone. There we go. All right, my name is Stefania Artiaga. I am the co-founder and co-executive director of the Carolina Migrant Network. We're a legal and advocacy organization focused on disrupting the deportation pipeline. Thank you. As you can imagine, our work has become critical, but it always has been in the state of North Carolina. North Carolina has consistently ranked as one of the states with the lowest level of access to legal representation to people in deportation proceedings, let alone detained. Mecklenburg County has consistently ranked as one of the counties where if you are an immigrant and you are at risk of being put in deportation proceedings, your risk is exceptionally high. One of the things I'm proud of is that we are currently the only legal service provider providing free legal representation to people in detention for the Carolinas. And it has been exceptionally challenging these past few months talking to families who are already dealing with many of the issues that have been mentioned, affordable housing, access to health care, and then adding the extra burden of not knowing if they're gonna come home to their loved ones. In North Carolina, we have a large history of migration dating back to Russians in the 80s, Greeks in the 80s, to Burmese folks, to Latin American and Central American folks like my family. And what we know is that many of these folks live in multi-generational, multi-status households. So when we talk about migration, we're just not talking about immigrants, we're talking about households that have U.S. citizens, people who are green card holders, and who are being impacted by the policies that we see right now.
My name is James Lee, and I wasn't really supposed to be here. My friend called me this morning and said, hey, a veteran dropped out, so we need to hear from a veteran, and she know my story. I'm a social, thank you. You need to be celebrating that Navy veteran out that's out in the audience, and any other veteran that actually fought in a campaign. I went in during peacetime, so I honor those that actually served and fought in wars. But what I do, I'm a social impact entrepreneur. I'm a unicorn because I'm a Charlotte native. I grew up in the community here in Charlotte, and what I do, I'm Esther in the community. When you're talking about people who can't afford to live here and they can't afford to leave, the median house price now is over $600,000. Last year it was $574,000. There's no way that any veteran or anybody that's coming out of college can afford to live in Charlotte because the prices are so crazy. My wheelhouse is advocating for housing, affordable housing, accessible housing, especially for those who have disabilities, right? And so I'm always taking not only the veteran story, but the folks who are addicted. I was once addicted to crack cocaine, but now I'm on a different pathway. I'm a staunch advocate for the Home for All, which is we're trying to find ways to end homelessness in Charlotte, Mecklenburg County. It's been a challenge. For over 5 years, we've been working on, actually ever since the 2014 when the Chetty report came out and said that Charlotte was last in upward mobility for black and brown communities. But we're number 2 in banking. To me, that number doesn't add up. That number doesn't, what I want to see is 2 plus 50 equals 1. I want us to be number 1 in upward mobility for black and brown communities.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tyler Day. I work with Common Cause North Carolina, and we are an organization dedicated to voting rights and holding power accountable. One of our big campaigns right now involves the Supreme Court race and calling on Judge Griffin. Yes, calling on Judge Griffin to end his campaign. It is completely unfair what is going on, and the fact that there's an attempt to silence thousands of North Carolinians who voted properly. And one of our other big campaigns for years now has been redistricting reform, which Senator Tillis could do something about. So we are continuously pushing for an independent commission to draw our voting districts. But today, voting rights in the United States are under attack from our own government. Legislators in Raleigh and Washington are proposing reforms to our elections like the SAVE Act that could disenfranchise millions of voters. Some politicians describe these reforms as needed to preserve the integrity of our elections. In North Carolina and across the country, we already have sophisticated procedures in place to confirm the veracity of our elections. This includes logic and accuracy testing of voting machines and a series of post-election audits to ensure all eligible votes are counted. If politicians are really concerned about election integrity, they should focus on issues such as ending gerrymandering. So no political party has an unfair advantage when it comes to our voting districts. And Congress should pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. And our federal government is also in the midst of a power struggle. We have three co-equal branches of government: a legislative branch to make the laws, an executive branch to execute the laws, and a judicial branch to interpret the laws. The federal executive branch is routinely overstepping its authority, claiming power it does not have. And so it's imperative that the U.S. Congress acts as a check on presidential power. It's up to our congressional representatives, like Senator Tom Tillis, to make that happen and fulfill their constitutional obligations.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Adrienne Moore Miller. I'm a Charlotte Mecklenburg School educator. Thank you. I'm actually a ECTA, which, as you know, we're becoming indispensable. And what I'm here today for is to fight for our children, fight for education. Right now, I don't know how they're able to take money from us when we have no money. You know, I teach math, so I know taking something away from nothing equals nothing. Our classrooms are overcrowded. We have people that don't have the degree teaching our children. We're already scared about our children being out here in the streets. Well, what do you think will happen with no funding? And as an EC teacher, kids that have IEPs that need individual educational programs are not getting it. And I sit here as a parent that have a child as an IEP student where he's not even getting what he needs at his school at this point. So I'm at school working for the children that I teach, and then I have to go home and teach my own child. Do you know how frustrating that is? And then on top of that, you can't even afford to live because we're not making wages. So I'm here to ask anyone, everyone, to come out and fight for these children. Stand up for education, because we need you.
No, that's right. Okay. Hello, y'all. My name is Marcel Villo, and I am the staffer, organizer, trainer, Swiss Army knife for the Charlotte Metrolina Labor Council. Go Union. So basically, we are an extension of the North Carolina and therefore national AFL-CIO, the Federation of Unions. We represent just our local just our labor council, 9 counties, including Mecklenburg County, and we support workers of all kinds, from Neruda to the Tuda. You understand me? We're talking about airport workers, air cabin cleaners, all the way up in the towers of the air traffic control with NACA, the same people who were getting attacked earlier this year by those who are representing us, allegedly, in the federal government. We're also supporting, and we are affiliated with the park rangers. okay? Think about that. Including the very same people who are helping with the recovery and support efforts in Western North Carolina. Those same people who made those sacrifices to help dig up our neighbors that were covered up in mudslides, then to lose their jobs. The same people who were sent out, those linemen who came to restore power, they're also getting cuts too and getting attacked because they're union members. So of course, with the Labor Council, we do not just only represent union members, we represent all working people. Because we understand that working people are the ones who actually power this city, this county, this state, in this country, no matter what. If you had a job, if you have a job, if you want a job, that's the people that we're out here representing and we're doing this good work for.
I'm sure Mr. Tillis does not know what he's missing tonight, y'all. I mean, he has no idea of the excellence and the brilliance of our panel. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ava, and Ava is going to facilitate speakers to come.
So thank you so much, Shemai. Let's give her a round of applause. She's all right. So we are so thrilled that all of these industry community leaders are here with us to share their experiences and what they're seeing come down the pipeline and the experiences that community is having. And we know that who here has been impacted? That's right. So we're going to start hearing from some folks. I'm going to invite first up Dr. Spivey to come and talk. Yes.
A little unexpected to be first, but that's okay. So we hear about K-12 education. In my work, I work with students that have made it out of K-12, and that at the post-secondary level. Well, guess what? They talk about a little closer.
Yeah, if you want.
So, again, if they make it out of K-12. So if they make it out of K-12, where they come is they come to post-secondary institutions, right? We hear about the bootstraps. Pull up by your bootstraps. Well, when we look at how they're gutting G-SPAR in post-secondary education is government-sponsored programs. That's your TRIO, your Upward Bound programs. And in most instances, we also look at our Ronald E. McNair programs. Those are those programs that give those first-generation college students an opportunity for those exposures. Well, a lot of our students received emails letting them know that their monies, scholarship monies, were about to end. And so this is the time when students have to clear to go forward, to go home and to get their exams and then go home. Students getting these emails, not knowing where to go, and I didn't say what I do at an institution. I work with students that have been touched by McKinney-Vento, which is homelessness, right? And students that have aged out of foster care. So what we do where I work is we provide, it's more of a ministry. So where do they go? What do they do? So, Tillis, we need your help. We need you to understand that we can't pull up by our bootstraps when we have no boots and now you're taking the straps. So that's where we are. So those are my concerns from my experience at the post-secondary level. And I also served as a special education teacher, and I do understand those IEPs, and I understand the funding. We're already underfunded when we look at K-12 education, but I'm here for post-secondary institutions, and I'm a wife of a retired 21-year colonel in the United States Army, and it is difficult when we look at health care. And when he calls to get someone on the phone, when he has those questions, 3 hours waiting period? My husband served his country honorably. He has a combat patch. Desert Storm is where my husband served. So I ask you all to look around as well. I don't see any elected official. I see one person in here. So remember that. It's midterm, right? We'll remember that. We're gonna vote.
Thank you, Dr. Spivey. I'm sorry I surprised you by calling you up first, but thank you so much. All right, Nate, we'd ask you to come up. Yeah. And make sure you get it really. I know you're a little bit taller, taller than I am. Okay.
Sure, no problem. Can everybody hear me? Okay, awesome. I really do wish our senator was here to kind of hear our stories as well. I'm going to share a little bit about my story and how a DOJ specifically and this administration's choices have affected me and my family. My name is Nate. I am a first-generation American, and my parents came to this country in the 1980s chasing what I think is now an elusive American dream. And, you know, what I feel for people like me, for people of my generation, this dream is more of a mirage, to be honest with you. It is something that I look back on and I'm thinking it's more of a distant memory, I would say, of something that I was raised to believe are the reasons, and what I've always thought are the reasons that our country truly is great. I don't see that anymore, and I'm really searching and I'm really striving to come back to what I was taught and how I've always believed this country to be. 4 years ago, my wife and I moved here from Northern Virginia, right outside the capital. And from where we're from, very naturally, most folks, our jobs are tied to the federal government and the military. And our jobs were also tied to those entities. And in 2020, when we were finally able to purchase a house, because as you know, people of my generation are having a really, really hard time just trying to establish ourselves in this economy. Access to affordable housing, I mean, it's a nightmare everywhere, right? And especially around the capital. And so at that time, the pandemic hit, and it made it even harder, even more inaccessible. So we moved down here for a reprise and really escaping what was then a crazy market, and also something of a really crazy cost of living situation too. Fortunately, we were able to retain our careers while living down here remotely. And we figured out that, hey, Charlotte looks like home and feels like home, so why don't we make it home? So after very many long years of searching and a lot of what seems like blood, sweat, and tears, we just closed on our first home last month. Thank you. Thank you. We just moved in 2 weeks ago, and I'm happy to say that my wife and I, we're both proud residents of Pineville here in Mecklenburg County, and we're really, really happy to be here. And that happiness, what was supposed to be a real milestone occasion for us and our family, was very short-lived because it was overshadowed almost immediately by threats of us losing our jobs and the anxiety of probably and hopefully not losing something that we've worked so hard to achieve, which is our first home and being able to call ourselves homeowners. And so my job as a career federal consultant, I've been working with the government and the military as a contractor for the last 15, 16 years. My job is on the chopping block. It is imminent. And just yesterday, my wife was informed that her last paycheck is next week.
Oh my God.
And mind you, just days after our first mortgage payment is due. And so all of this comes at such a crazy time. And I am sharing this story with you because I wanted to share a little bit about the lens that I'm bringing to this as well. My career as a federal contractor has been around actually creating efficiency for the federal government. And yeah, it's ironic, right? And even optimizing operations for all branches of the military. So I can confidently say to all of you that what DOJ is doing in a nonpartisan way, what DOJ is doing is the exact opposite of efficiency.
Okay. We have our next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nate, for sharing that very personal story. We appreciate it. Heather Manas, we'd like to ask you to come up and share yours.
I need notes, so this is my first time here. Make sure you speak right into it. And then okay, can I do this? Yeah. Okay. Hey, everybody. I like to roam around a little bit, but I'm Heather Manos. I'm a medical doctor here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I practice at Amity Medical Group. It is a nonprofit that focuses on care for medically disenfranchised individuals, including those with HIV, LGBTQ, addiction, and lots of other things. Anyway, naturally, I have a passion about bringing up some healthcare issues to ask Mr. Tillis about. So number one, the opioid crisis. So I do work on the front lines of this and have since 2013. You're likely familiar with the scope of the problem, but I'd just like to point out some statistics. More people have died from overdose in 10 years than U.S. military personnel in wars since 1917. So that's over a century. 10 years versus over a century. Last year, overdose death rates dropped. It was the first time in several years, over 10 years. And we think it's because of federal funding through grants that have come through the federal government, which was money that was appropriated by Congress from funds from the Purdue Pharma settlement with the federal government that kept the Sackler family out of jail, right? So these funds need to go to this reason, right? To help treat opioid addiction. So my question for the senator is, what are you going to do to protect your constituents from Trump's federal funding cuts that stand to increase overdose deaths in this community? Second, there's a lot of disagreement over the matter of abortion. However, we can all agree that we do not want maternal deaths to increase because of our abortion policies. There has been a marked increase in pregnancy-related maternal deaths since Roe v. Wade was overturned in 2022, and states implemented some restrictive abortion laws. So other obstacles to parents choosing to have babies are economic factors, such as inability to, I need to stop, inability to access paid parental leave and also affordable childcare. So my next question is, what are you going to do to make it more affordable and easier for pregnant women to feel comfortable having children in this landscape? I have like 3 more, but I'm not going to get to them, so thank you.
Okay, we want to thank all of our speakers so far. I just want to remind everyone to please pay attention to the timer down here. When you hear the bell, please just acknowledge it so that everybody can get a chance to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you for sharing that. I'd like to introduce Cheryl Beard.
Thank you. So, Senator Tillis, I live in Cornelius. I'm about a mile away from you. In case you've forgotten, according to the North Carolina Poultry Federation, poultry is the #1 commodity in North Carolina, contributing more than $39.7 billion to the state's economy and creating nearly 150,000 jobs. My daughter is a disease detective with the CDC's Epidemiology Intelligence Service. She is actively trying to control the spread of bird flu out west, which would have a devastating impact on North Carolina's poultry industry, agricultural workers, and economy if it spreads here. Yet many of the CDC and FDA support staff she relies on for understanding and mitigating the risks have been fired by President Trump, Elon Musk, and Secretary RFK Jr. Abrupt, uninformed funding cuts halted the renovation and expansion of the North Carolina State Public Health Lab, jeopardizing North Carolina preparation and response to state health emergencies. In addition, many public health support staff at the state level across the country have also been fired due to abrupt funding cuts to the state public health departments. This directly jeopardizes North Carolina jobs, poultry industry income, and agricultural worker health. The current White House budget plan would completely eliminate the part of the CDC helping states prevent chronic diseases such as cancer and heart disease, which my husband suffers from. It eliminates funding for the CDC Global Health Center, which works to prevent outbreaks abroad from reaching U.S. states such as North Carolina. Senator Tillis, why do you keep voting for ignorant public health policies that harm the economic well-being and physical health of your North Carolina constituents? Thank you.
I feel like he deserves to be in the video. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Laura, you want to?
Testing. Oh, sorry. Hello, everybody. I'm Lori Downey. I'm an organizer with Red, Wine, and Blue, so thank you so much for being here tonight. Okay, we have one more speaker, but now we're going to get to your comments and your questions. And so I'm going to ask that we line up about 4 on each side. We've got 2 mics, and I'm going to call your name.
Actually, we're going to have them come up here. That way the video will be on them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we'll line up over here. I'll call about 8 at a time. And I'll be calling from folks that use the QR code as well as if I got the cards that were filled out. So the first 8 people that can come and line up are Kimberly Owens, Gary Schwartz, Christina Dufour, Donna Flad, Eddie Irons, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing names, Gregory Flatt, and Judy Gebhardt, and Paul Yantis, and if you'll line up right over here. And then also as a reminder, you get 2 minutes. We have 2 timers over here, so look for those. You will get a warning at 1 minute, and then at 30 seconds, and then we'll stop you. So thank you.
Yeah, Peter, if you'd like to come up.
Hello, I'm Peter Barr. I'm a recently retired lawyer. You'd never guess, right? I have, Social Security's at risk. Retirement funds are at risk because of this administration's economic policies and overreach. I have an adult daughter who gets her insurance through ACA and has student loans. I have an adult son who is transgender. My wife has stage 4 cancer, and the administration is not only killing the funding for cancer research, for health research in general, but is putting immigrant with legitimate visas researchers into immigration holding. This is going to have an impact on how long she gets to live. You know, it doesn't really matter whether we're Republicans or Democrats, progressives, liberals, moderates, conservatives. We all need to stand up and be patriots to protect our Constitution. So the question I have for Senator Tillis is, knowing that he and I have sworn oaths to defend the U.S. Constitution, are there not 13 Republican senators or 3 House members who will stand up against this unconstitutional administration?
Hey y'all, my name is Kimberly Owens. I am a survivor of childhood domestic violence and abuse. My sister is not. Not because my daddy killed her, though God knows there were times I feared he wanted to. Now, see, I was born in 1968, and Daddy went to Vietnam in 1969 and came back a very different man than the 19-year-old the government sent over there. My sister was born in 1977, and the stress of 2 kids didn't help the anxiety, depression, PTSD, rage, and multiple medical issues, eyesight, liver and kidney damage, itchy skin. He was always so miserable after he got back. He brought all of that back in his duffel from Saigon. Neither did job loss help him when the steel mill he worked swing shift at laid him off. But that job loss caused my family to pivot to the Department of Veterans Affairs for medical care, including psychiatric care. You see, the VA just doesn't make a difference in the lives of veterans and warriors. We call them our wounded warriors when we want to feel a bit better about ourselves. But it makes a difference in the lives of their families. Through the VA, we got access to doctors who could identify what was wrong with my dad. They prescribed medications that managed his PTSD and stopped the nightmares. They gave him counseling for depression and anxiety. They gave him a process for him to get a full measure of benefits when Agent Orange exposure was determined to be the cause of his multiple physical ailments. The VA was there for 8 years with 3 times a week dialysis, multiple amputations, with support during COVID, with hospice as my father no longer responded to dialysis. And now, my mother, his 70-year-old widow, gets a modest VA monthly benefit that helps keep her housed and fed. So to the VA, I say thank you on behalf of my kid sister, who had a very different daddy than the one I had. To Senator Tillis and Elon Musk, I say hands off our VA.
Good evening. My name is Donna Flad, and I'm a constituent. I'm very anxious. I'm also a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and I'm a specialist in treating substance use disorder. And lately, I've been thinking about our veterans. And it occurred to me as I'm sitting there in the audience that we are in a war. We're fighting for democracy. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be standing up here. But I am, because I think about our soldiers, right? Senator Tillis, will you stand and fight for democracy? Will you stand by your oath and fight like our soldiers and fight for democracy? This is your hill. This is our hill. This is our war, okay? We got to do it. Who else is going to do it? Are you with us or not?
I look at things from a historical aspect. And the last time we were in this situation was before the Civil War. And you're going to say I'm insane. But before the Civil War, the 10 wealthiest Americans lived in Charleston, were slave owners, the largest slave owners. So they were the 1% that controlled this country and the path of this country. We are back there now, and people are talking about all the symptoms of what's going on, not what the disease is. And you could say I'm crazy, but the disease is the 1% is at war with the 99%. Taking everything away from us so that, because they don't need it. They just don't need it. They don't care. All they care about is money. And that's it. Everybody cares about money, but you don't have to be psychotic about it. And that's what I got to say. I am going to run for office in the midterm for some kind of legislature. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, my name is Edie Irons, and I came here tonight with a gift for Senator Tillis. I want to give him a copy of Alexei Navalny's memoir. I fear that Senator Tillis does not understand what it would really be like to live in an autocracy like Russia. And if he did, perhaps he would do his job and stand up for our democracy. My question for Senator Tillis is, what's it going to take for you to stand up and do your job as a senator? What's it going to take for you to do what you know is right? You must know you're not an idiot. I understand that he's scared he's going to lose his job. He's going to get primaried from the right. I want to tell him, you better be scared of us. We're your constituents. We need you to do your job. And I'll leave this book here for him, because I really did buy it for him.
Hi, my name's Judy Gebhardt, and I just have a little short question for Senator Tillis. Who approved the payment to CCOT, and who signed the contract?
Hello, my name is Greg Flett. I'm a constituent, and I'm concerned about the dismantling of the EPA. I would just like to ask Senator Tillis if he would please take a stand for American health and for the environment. Is it really worthwhile to increase pollution just for the profit of businesses? Please think about our children and our grandchildren who will inherit this administration's policy of deregulation. They won't forget you, whichever side you take. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Christina Dufour, and I would like to tell you about my son, Logan. Logan was born at 23 weeks. He weighed 1 pound, 5 ounces. He required a ventilator to help him breathe, along with many other supports, just to survive. On day 2, he had level 3 bilateral brain bleeds and was given a 10% chance of surviving. We had many ups and downs during our NICU journey, but after 113 days, we were finally discharged. Our journey, however, did not end. Logan developed hydrocephalus and required a VP shunt. He was also diagnosed with ROP, bronchopulmonary dysplasia, CP, and global delays. As he got older, Logan received more diagnosis: asthma, ADHD, level 2 autism, PTSD, and sensory processing disorder. Logan's been able to receive early intervention, OT, PT, speech, ABA, and currently cognitive behavior therapy through his Medicaid services. Because of this, Logan, however, is no longer just surviving. He is thriving. Logan attends a school and follows the North Carolina standard curriculum. He received straight A's on his last report card. He has friends. He loves playing the piano. He's learning to play the piano and loves to sing and dance. His dream is to become a Kids Bop kid one day. Logan's teachers believe he can go to college and have a job, but he will need supports to help him do that. I'm concerned with the cuts to Medicaid and the dismantling of DEI that Logan and children like him will not be able to receive the supports and services they need. Families like ours are already financially and emotionally stressed. We worry every day about our children's future. So I ask you, Mr. Tillis, as a mom to an amazing, bright, resilient 12-year-old boy who has already overcome so many obstacles in his life, what will his future look like? What specifically will you put in place to ensure that Logan and children like him will receive the supports and services they need to go to college, to get jobs, to continue to thrive? Thank you.
I'm going to call up our next group to line up Luna, Mary Hall, Dick Roberts, Melissa Walker, Molly Mitchell, Linda Miner, I think it's Rahal, and Paula Spears. If you guys could make your way forward and line up, please.
So unlike other people, I don't have a lot of stuff prepared. I have a really simple question. But first, I'd like to say that I have a son with a disability. I have a wife who works in the school system who helps kids with disabilities. I have recently retired. You can imagine some of the issues that are going on right now that impact my life. But my question is really simple, Tom. What war are we in? What's that, Tom? We're not in a war? Then why are you letting this president use a wartime act? And why are you abdicating your responsibilities? We know this is you, and you will be held accountable.
Hi, my name is Amanda Rusmusso. I attended a grant-making conference in DC in March because that's what I do for a living, and that in of itself was a very hard topic to sit around and listen to nonprofits losing their money. But on the way back on Friday, March 14th, I was on the 8 o'clock flight back from DC to Charlotte, and from previous advocacy work, I had saw two men with pins on their lapels. One was Senator Budd, who was sitting in front of me, and one was Senator Tillis, who was sitting right behind me. And I had a nice a man in the Army help me verify that those were the people, so I wouldn't make a fool of myself. But my role here is the entire time I was on the plane, I was plotting with my other advocacy to get dates when we met with Senator Tillis's office back in 2016 so that I could reference that. And so he got up to go to the bathroom. I stood up, I stuck my hand out, and I said, Senator Budd, my name is Amanda Rusmusso. I'm your constituent. I live in Charlotte, and I'm concerned that you're freezing funds to nonprofits through the FBI with no basis. And the first thing he asked me was, who did I work for? And I told him that I was not representing my employer. I was here because I was talking to him as his constituent. He asked for my number. I gave him my number. He said he would call me. I never got a call. So second, I waited till we were leaving the plane. I turned around, stuck my hand in Tom Tillis's face and told him the same thing. He too asked who I worked for. I told him that I was not representing my employer. Told him the same thing. He told me that his legislative director named Jeff would call me. I have yet to receive a call, and I have tried to call both of their offices. Tom Tillis, you work for us. You do not work for Trump.
My name is Mary Hall. I'm not used to speaking in front of crowds at all. My dad is a disabled Vietnam veteran. My mom is an amputee, and she depends on Social Security and Medicare, and my dad depends on his VA. I'm also disabled, and I depend on Medicaid for insulin pump and all that good stuff. I'm just wondering, what line does Trump have to cross in order for you to stand up and do something? Impeach him. I mean, be our hero. Not just the hero for us, a hero for North Carolina, a hero for the world.
Thank you very much, because I'm not used to speaking in front of people either, so you just gave me a shot in the arm. I'm asking you to be a hero too, Mr. Tillis, Senator. But I'm going to call you Tom, because somebody once said that politics is the art of the possible. I think it was Al Franken. And so I'm a bleeding heart liberal, and you're not. But what do we have in common? So I thought about it, and I thought, well, we both live in Huntersville. My brother and my uncle are both named Tom. I'll get back to that in a minute. And we both hate fascists, because I heard you talk about it a few months ago. You hate Putin just as much as we do. So if we both hate Putin, I wonder if we're both also afraid. Afraid, like Lisa Murkowski said that. She was afraid. I know I'm afraid. So back to my Uncle Tom. I left you a picture of him. He died in World War II after being injured, after being given a Purple Heart. He went back to fight with his comrades and was killed. My family came home, his sister, from the rehearsal dinner that they were having, and they found the telegram to say that he had been killed. So, because I know that you hate Putin as much as I do, and because I know everybody's afraid, I am asking you to be as brave as my Uncle Tom. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Luna, and I am here as a Hispanic student from Union County's Monroe High School. According to the U.S. School News Report, Monroe High School has a minority enrollment rate of 94%, with 77% of the school being at an economical disadvantage, a math proficiency rate at 20%, reading at 46%, and science at 18%. On March 5th and April 1st, students of Monroe High School took it upon themselves to make a change in the UCPS school district that has failed them by listing the following demands. 1. UCPS never allows ICE in our schools, and a statement stating our schools are a safe zone. 2. UCPS upholds FARPA by protecting students' privacy. 3. Equal treatment, opportunity, and funding for all UCPS students. Following our peaceful walkout, me and many other students were met with harassment by the Monroe Police Department and Sheriff's Department on the way home and on school grounds. Parents were denied information on their students' safety and threatened with arrest after requesting to file reports against the Monroe High School administrators for their misconduct against students. When this was brought up to the UCPS Board of Education, parents and students were met with silence. The second time this misconduct was brought up to the UCPS Board of Education, parents and students were met with mockery by the uneducated responses given by board members and childish comments and expressions when students spoke. As a country, you have failed the youth by leaving us alone to fight a power structure that has been broken by a two-party system, proven to not give minority students a voice. The individuals here believe that change can be made, correct? I here believe that too, but you cannot have world peace without having peace in the streets, and peace is what the students of Monroe High School are fighting for. Change is not made all at once at a mass scale. It is made by protecting the youth, and that is burning with passion to grow. So I ask you, and all of you, to stand with the youth. Thank you.
Wow, that's a hard act to follow. I want to remind you, this is the fellow who gave us Pete Hegseth. Hey, I served in the Air Force, and I'm trying to figure all this out. But anyhow, I want to remind everybody that a long time ago, our founding fathers put this country together, and they risked everything. Blood, sweat, tears, some real hard stuff too, like life, family, wealth, property. They risked everything. And right now in D.C., we got some guys up there, one in particular, who wants all of it for themselves. And so what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? We're going to fight, we're going to vote, and we're going to win. We got to band together. We got to band together to win. So my question to Tom here is, given all the bad stuff that's going on in D.C., when is someone like this fella going to get together with a few of his buddies in the Senate and decide they've had a damn enough? It doesn't take a whole lot of them. It doesn't take a whole lot of them, but they could do it if they wanted to. And the reason they don't want to is because they're afraid of getting primaried. And our forefathers risked everything. This guy's not risking much either, is he? He can get a job somewhere else. So why doesn't he do it? Because he's lazy and he's worried about getting primaried. So vote and vote frequently.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, friends. Okay, we need to bring another group up.
Yes. Ken Hungate, Kim Whitecar, Raj Gentry, Lindy Leach. Do I have all those 4 people?
Come on down. The prize is right for some of those guys. Hi, everybody. My name is Hardin Miner. My fellow Americans. Yes! Woo! Man, this is important work that we're all doing together. Every single act that you make is an act of resistance. You know, Senator Tillis, what's up, dude? Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Hello. You are a senator. You are a member of a co-equal branch of our government. Our legislature, the Congress, is responsible for appropriation of funds. Why are you allowing Donald Trump and his Doge, gotta keep it clean, to claw away funds that have already been appropriated by the Congress from our universities, our research, our education, our veterans? How can you allow Donald Trump to take that money back that's already been appropriated? I don't get it. Folks, we have work to do, not just when the candidate is on the stand, but right now. We organize at precinct level. You all know what your precincts are. You've got to get out there and do the work now so that in 2026, we can retire a gentleman that I call Tiptoe Tom Tillis. Because
My name is Kim Whitaker. My question concerns the dangers the United States is now in since the CIA, FBI, DHS, and NSA have been have been decimated by their unqualified directors. Signal Gates 1 and 2 not only expose how the Musk-Trump administration runs national security like a television show, but have also shown us how vulnerable we are to those who would do us harm. The administration's indifference and incompetence will lead to the unthinkable happening. They are creating the conditions for terrorism, which they will then exploit to their advantage. My question is this, Senator Tillis, do you regret your tie-breaking vote that not only led to Pete Hegseth becoming U.S. Secretary of Defense, but opened the floodgates for the rest of Trump's deplorable cabinet members being put in charge of our safety and security?
Linda Maddox. We have Linda Maddox here. Mary DeStasis? I'm sorry, I might not be reading it. Raise your hand if you're still wanting to speak. Those two people, if you could come up front, please. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ken Hungate. I'm 76 years old. I've lived through a lot of Republican and Democratic presidents, but I've never seen anything that I've recognized in the past than what I'm seeing now in this last 100 days. I don't understand where we got away from the three equal and separate branches. I worry about the judicial branch, but they're trying to hold their own. Congress is absolutely doing nothing. They're folding and letting Trump be a dictator, an authoritarian leader. Where did it become okay to threaten a law firm and tell them who they can hire and who they can represent? When did it become okay to threaten universities, who they can hire, what they can teach? So there's so many things that are going on. When was it okay to do away with agencies when it was not, when you weren't the one that established them? It's Congress's responsibility. I'd just like for you, Mr. Tillis, to stand up and be counted. You're worried about being primaried, but I think you better worry more about what's going to happen in the midterms.
First, I'd like to thank Senator Tillis for his support of the Inflation Reduction Act's clean energy tax credits. He did work, and then also for speaking out on the uncertainty of the tariff strategy. I've been employed for 33 years with a seasonal wholesaler of Christmas, fall, Easter, and home decor. The company has been importing from China for 46 years. We're a $70 million company with 500 employees. In North and South Carolina alone, I have 1,000 active accounts. They are florists, gift shops, boutiques, garden centers, pharmacies, hardware stores, bookstores, salons, museums, and we have places like the Biltmore Estate and the North Carolina Arboretum. All this will be lost if our products do not get on the water soon. Excuse me. There may not be Christmas selling season all this year. All the businesses will be gone, and all the people will be out of work. The business is failing, and the businesses, failing, and the people are out of work will be staggering. I hope you will get together with your fellow senators and act quickly. I also want to express my concerns about the checks and balances currently awry in our government. The presidency is operating at a dangerous level with no regard to its citizens. The atrocities include imprisonment without due process, threats to top law firms, schools, government employees, and agencies. I'm deeply depressed about our national parks. Every president, except for this one, has increased the land. This one wants to strip it for its resources.
I am 57 years old and I have paid into Social Security and Medicare my whole life. I deserve that money and those services. It is alarming that the museums, libraries, schools are being taken over. I cannot believe we have travel advisories to our country and that the U.S. is in the watch list for human rights. History is paying attention. I implore you to act now with decency and resolve.
Hey, y'all. I ain't from here, but I can talk like I am. My grandfather, Dr. Timothy H. Gridley, he headed the psychiatric portion of the VA hospital in Fayetteville, affectionately known as Vietnam. My father served in World War II, his father in World War I. One of my brothers retired as a naval captain after serving 25 years, many of those spent in months-long deployments, including Operation Desert Storm. My other brother, an Air Force Academy graduate, served for more than a decade. Griffin, from the comfort of his non-combat JAG position, voted in 2019 and 2020 by the same method he now says cannot be trusted. That is hypocrisy and the epitome of conduct unbecoming. Now, for the issues brought up here that take money. In business, we not only cut expenses, we increase revenue. Abolish the income ceiling on Social Security tax. Incomes over $176,000, triple what most people in this state earn. All of that money should be taxed, all of that income. Rehire the IRS agents trained to audit high-income returns. These workers return $12 in revenue for every dollar spent on their salaries and training. And fine the chemical companies who profited from creating forever chemicals and polluting our brains with microplastics. Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Then we'll have the money for all the other issues we brought up here tonight.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ruth, and this is my first time speaking in public. Retired teacher, recent retiree. And I want to ask Tom Tillis about empathy, because I think empathy is sorely missing in this administration. And I want him to think back to the last time that he felt empathy toward anyone, anything. Could have been a wounded puppy, a brother or sister. Because we need empathy really badly right now. My husband and I volunteer at Roof Above, which is a shelter that serves about 1,400 homeless people. We have veterans come in. We have abused women come in. We have women coming in with 3 children behind them. And they need your empathy. People say, oh, they should get a house. They should get a house. They have jobs. They make a salary, but they can't afford to live here in Charlotte, not anywhere close enough where they can access medical care, food, anything that any normal person needs. We see veterans come in being just discharged from the hospital. They have nowhere to go. They look wounded. They look sad. They look at the end of their ropes, and they have nowhere to go. They come to us, and we feed them. We give them a cough drop. We give them some socks and shoes, and that's what we can do with them. But the government can do so much more. And I'm asking Tom, find your empathy for these people. Homeless people cannot be swept under the rug. They're here. and they need our help. So please help them. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Reverend Leonard Jarvis, and I am upset, and we should be, what's going on in America today. It's a travesty of what we're experiencing, and we cannot sit by and watch our country be destroyed by Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Tom Tillis should have been here tonight. It's about us. We are the people, not Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Can I tell you what's really happening? Tom Tillis has drank the wrong Kool-Aid. He's drank the Kool-Aid of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Three things about this Kool-Aid: it's bitter, it's sour, and it's deadly. What they're doing is sour because they're eliminating the jobs that many people need. People matter. Can we say that? People matter. It's time to get upset. It's time to move. It's time to not to be silent. They said if you're silent, you're complicit with what's going on. It's time to tell your neighbor, get busy, stand up for what's right. People are dying. People will die. That's why it's deadly. So I call on all of us tonight. It's not black or white, it's about people. To get busy, and let's show them that we will stand up for what's right, and we're going forward, as we would say in the NAACP, not one step backward, but we're going forward. Forward up, forward up, forward up, forward up.
Wow. Unfortunately, we could not get to everyone who wanted to tell their stories, and we apologize about that, but at the same time, this has been a powerful night for me. And it's been a powerful night for you too. There are a few things that I just want to lift up. You still have an opportunity to tell your story. If you completed a card, we have a box here. We're going to deliver these to Mr. Tillis. You can also email Indivisible, and we will make sure that your message gets to him at indivisibleclt@gmail.com. indivisibleclt@gmail.com. Now, we're getting ready to close out, but I have a question for Mr. Tillis also. We have, just with our panel of impacted folks, or people who know the impacts, we have Health and Human Services, we have immigration, we have veterans and affordable housing needs, we have democracy at stake, we have education at stake, and definitely we have workers' rights at stake. If we impact all of these things, my question is, Tillis, are you trying to kill us? And with that, my good friend Rotrina is going to close us out. Rotrina is an organizer extraordinaire. She's been in our community for a long time, impacting, working on the ground, boots on the ground. And so I want to invite Rotrina up at this time, and she's going to close us out. We are so thankful for you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, tonight. Look at all these beautiful faces coming out tonight to support each other. I appreciate everyone that was here tonight to tell their testimony. I appreciate these panelists up here tonight who you will get information and contact for tonight. So I just want to make sure you all know that. that we have right over here, Marcel, you're going to get her information. I have it right here. And then with the Charlotte Metrolina Labor Council, so look out for that. We also have right over here, we have Adrian Moore Miller with Charlotte Mecklenburg Association of Educators. We must say that, and you will get that information. We also have Tyler Day, who works for Common Cause, the Civic Policy and Civic Engagement Manager. And we have James Lee, who he didn't even know he's going to be on here tonight, but he's here. So we appreciate you. You will get his information as well. And then we have also on the panel, we have Robert Nesbitt, Chief of Staff of Mecklenburg County Manager for Health and Human Services. Thank y'all so much for being here, and you will get their contact information. Because if don't nobody else show up, they're going to show up. And they're going to be here, and they're going to be able to answer your questions and get you to where you need to be. And also, they didn't even come up. But I want to say tonight, Stephania, I'm so sorry. The lighting. Stephania, I'm so sorry. Yes, I don't even know. Carolina Migrant Network, y'all. I'm looking at my paper and trying to look at my phone. Co-director and strategist of Carolina Migrant Network as well. Sorry. All right, and also I just want to say that at the end of the night, if you want to take a picture with Tom Tillis and post it on your social medias, please do. And tag Tom Tillis to it. And also I want to say thank you to all the organizations who helped put this together tonight. Indivisible Lake Norman, we will send out their information and their contact information as well in a follow-up email. We have Democracy North Carolina. Also, tonight they helped organize this. We have a New Rural Project as well. I see you, Cynthia, out there. We have Indivisible Charlotte. Yes, they gathered us all together. Indivisible Charlotte. Also Red, Wine, and Blue right here. I see you, Lori. And then we have Common Cause. I'm here tonight. Common Cause. And then, so that's who we have tonight. And I just want to say, seeing all these beautiful faces out here tonight, what I do know, when we come together, when we support each other, no one can beat us. Not no Tom Tillis, who's not here tonight. No Elon Musk, not no Trump. We all going to get it tonight, and we're going to do what we need to do. Continue to fight. Continue to work together. Continue to be together. Continue to support each other, because people united will never be defeated, and that is us tonight. Thank y'all.